Hello YouTube! Today I'm giving you a tour of the Virgin Voyages ships, and I'll be going through all of the amenities on board. Specifically, this is for the gays who might be sailing on an all-gay cruise on a Virgin ship like the Atlantis cruises. Hey, do you like f***ing ass? Oh good, me too. So if you think about going on a gay cruise, especially your first gay cruise, book with me at JustJoeyTravels. You get insider knowledge and expert guidance. You can find me at JustJoeyTravels.com, or you can DM the at JustJoeyTravels Instagram account. Let's kick off the tour. We'll start on Deck 5 and work our way up the ship. On Deck 5, we're starting with the Redemption Spa because the gays won't stop asking me about the thermal suite, so here it is. Warm and cold plunges, heated marble benches, mud room, salt room, steam room, and sauna. I've made a separate video that goes in depth on the thermal suite, including pricing and access details, is linked below. Go check it out. Next up is Sailor Services, aka Guest Services, which is like the front desk of a hotel. If you lost your wristband or have any questions or issues, this is where you go. Deck 5 in the middle of the ship, right beside the elevators. On Atlantis sailings, the Atlantis help desk is here also. Let's move on to some food and drinks. 2 eateries on Deck 5. This one is Pink Agave, an upscale Mexican restaurant. The entrance is kinda hidden, it is to the right of Sailor Services. Don't miss the bar that's tucked away near the entrance to the left. It has a massive selection of mezcal and tequila. The other eatery on Deck 5 is Razzle Dazzle, across the elevators from Sailor Services and down a hallway. During the day, there's a great brunch here. They have staples like eggs and bacon, or more adventurous items like acai bowls and buckwheat waffles. But at night, things liven up for dinner. Depending on the ship and the sailing, you may find comfort food options like fried chicken, or on Brilliant Lady as an example, they serve modern Spanish-inspired dishes. Also on Brilliant Lady, this space is called Rojo by Razzle Dazzle, with different decor, just to keep us on our toes. Moving on up to Deck 6, we'll start at the front of the ship, where we find the 2 largest indoor entertainment venues. The Red Room is the primary venue. This is where you find the big headline shows and talent, or a bit of afternoon bingo. This space is multifunctional. The theater-style seats can retract away to reveal a large performance space. By the way, Virgin has some pretty impressive shows here. Or it can transform into a sizable dance floor for an indoor dance party. The Red Room has 2 levels. The main space and the stage is on Deck 6, and when the theater seating is in use, you can discreetly access the upper rows of the seating from Deck 7. When the seats are stowed away, there's wraparound balcony space upstairs. The other entertainment venue on Deck 6 is the Manor, which Virgin labels a nightclub. The main entrance is just off of the casino, and it's completely covered in mirrors and lights. It was very difficult to film this walk through the entrance as you're seeing here. It was even harder not to walk into it with the camera. Anyways, the Manor also has 2 levels. On Deck 6 is the main space, and upstairs on 7 is a wraparound balcony with some lounge-style seating as well. Besides being a nightclub and also pulling after-hours party duty, such as on the Atlantis gay charters, you find smaller, more intimate performances here too. In the middle of Deck 6, we have tons of shopping. High Street is right off of the midship elevators, and this is where you'll find the retail shops. On the Atlantis cruises, they often have pop-up vendors set up here too. Within the high streets is the Necessities Shop, which has toiletries, over-the-counter meds, etc. Unsurprisingly, stuff here costs 2 arms and 3 legs, so bring daddy with you. But if you're out of stuff like toothpaste, at least you have this as an option. On Brilliant Lady, these items are hidden away in the fragrances and beauty section, but I found them for you after a little bit of detective work, so I'm showing you exactly where it is now. On the other side of the ship is the booty-free shop, which may or may not be booty-free, depending on what you call your alcohol, but this is where the duty-free shopping is. Since daddy's down here paying for stuff, maybe he wants to treat himself and get groomed up. Virgin has a very cute but very real barber shop on board called Stubble Groom. So if you didn't get a chance to get a trim before the cruise, you can just drop in right here. For the ladies and the gays with long hair, Virgin has not forgotten about you. You have your own glow-up space in the Dry Dock Beauty Salon. It is right next door to Stubble Groom. Highlights, blowouts, hair treatments, they can even do your brows and lashes. One of the craziest things you can do on board any Virgin ship is get a tattoo at Squid Ink. Virgin has teamed up with the world-famous Tattoo Ink and Body Art Alliance to bring some of the best tattoo artists to see. Some of my favorite places to eat are at the back of Deck 6. The most unique is the test kitchen, more of an experimental cooking lab than a typical restaurant. The menu is presented as a list of ingredients, but it's the cooking techniques and presentation that really sends the experience and the flavors off the chart. I tried this on Brilliant Lady and it was an amazing experience. For something more traditional, but rich in flavor and culture, Extra Virgin is the ship's Italian restaurant. It's got a wine bar as well. This is one of my favorite spaces to dine in. Something about the atmosphere here is so warm and comforting, casual, but still upscale. There's a mix of high top tables and traditional tables, some in dimmer, quieter areas, others in brighter and more social spaces. Honestly though, they had me at pasta. Last but definitely not least for food on deck 6 is the Wake. It's a beautiful space, it's so grand. You enter down a curved staircase with gold railing and this massive cool chandelier down to this steak and seafood restaurant with stunning views of the water trail at the very back of the ship. If I was remotely dateable, I would definitely do a dinner date here, but regardless, I love steak and I love seafood, so this is one of my favorite places to eat. Wrapping up deck 6, we are going to go to the coolest indoor bar, which is on the rocks. Virgin calls it a cave bar, and it does feel a bit like a hideaway, especially at night. A giant island for the bar itself and various types of seating scattered all about, and most nights you have live music here too. You'll find On the Rocks in the middle of the ship just under the atrium. Okay, that's all for deck 6. Now we're gonna go up to deck 7 via the Roundabout, which is what Virgin calls the atrium. There's a lot of stuff on deck 7, so it's best we start from the front of the ship. We're gonna come back to the atrium in a bit. Right beside the forward set of elevators is the Groupie, or the private karaoke rooms. Thank God for the soundproof rooms here that let you scream your lungs out without ever finding a key. Connecting the Groupie to the atrium is the Sip Champagne Lounge. There is a lot of champagne here, but the bar has other things too, so don't worry. There's a lot of big comfy seating here, especially when you go past the bar area where it feels almost like a living room. It's great if you want a quieter, more intimate space to hang out and chat with others. That end of Sip takes us back to the atrium, which Virgin calls the Roundabout. This is the first onboard space you'll experience as a cruiser because this is where you board the ship. As you can see, there's lots of different areas to hang out in, with different types of seating scattered throughout. It's a really light and airy place to spend time. I like this area not just for chilling, but also if I want to work on my laptop outside of my cabin, especially with all the amenities around the atrium. One of these amenities is the Draught Haus, the local tap room, which takes up its own corner of the atrium. Of course, lots of beer on tap here. Just outside the atrium, we have some yummy treats, starting with everyone's favorite, ice cream, and it's free. Me Til Ice Cream is open most of the day, and they have 7 or 8 unique flavors, including a vegan and dairy-free option. Right next door is the pizza place, serving up made-to-order, personal-sized pizza. It also opens up to a patio if you want to enjoy your pizza outdoors. Just inside the entrance is a grab-and-go station. Not for pizza though, it's mostly salads here. If you're hankering for some caffeine, go to the other side of the ship to Grounds Club for barista-crafted drinks. It's not just lattes though. They have cold brew, premium teas, hot chocolate, and my favorite, boba. Yes, they even have boba tea on board. Don't miss the baked goods here too. Go past Grounds Club and you'll enter the Social Club, which is where you can have some fun. No, not that kind of fun. There's a bunch of games here and lots of table space to play them. On Brilliant Lady, I also found this book swap near the entrance. Part of this space is a simple diner serving fairground staples like pretzels, hot dogs, milkshakes, popcorn, the perfect complement to game night. Walk through that diner, turn left, and you'll find the arcade for old school video games. And on the other side is the Loose Cannon, another bar that's been hidden away. It's Virgin's take on a dive bar. Past the Social Club and towards the back of the ship is the Dock House, which serves casual Mediterranean dishes. There's also a bar here too. In the mornings, you can get fresh juice and smoothies. Although they serve food, it's not really a restaurant, it's more like a very casual lounge. They'll sometimes have live music here, otherwise it's a chill and quiet space to hang out. Out the back of Deck 7 is the Dock, which is the outdoor counterpart to the Dock House. Same menu of food options as inside, there's a separate outdoor bar here, and lots of space to lounge. You can't tell in the footage here because we're docked, but this is the area to go while out at sea if you want to be close to the water. Most people go to the pool deck, but I'd rather be here. Alright, now we zoom up to Deck 15. First up is the Aquatic Club, which is Virgin's fancy name for the pool. One cool feature is the extra wide pool ledge with a bunch of day beds. Are they day beds? Anyways, obviously these are in high demand. At both ends of the pool, you also see a very shallow area for those who want to get their feet wet, but no more. Just off to the side are the pool towels. You just grab them, no need to sign your life away for one, like on some other cruise lines. No pool on a cruise ship is complete without poolside drinks, and the Aquatic Club bar is here to quench your thirst. Go around to the other side and you'll find the gym and tonic bar, as well as some hot tubs and the well-being pool, which is the granddaddy of the hot tubs. Speaking of wellness, flanking both sides of the hot tubs area is the B Complex Gym, and it's split into two sections. One side is called Burn and Bike with cardio equipment and a bike studio for spin classes. The other side is called Build and Balance. It's got weights and a balance studio for various fitness classes. You'll find towels and a water station near the entrance. Okay, enough about burning calories, let's talk about inhaling them. My favorite onboard restaurant is Gunbae for Korean barbecue. It's such a lively experience here, and they make it so much fun, like how every meal starts with a drinking game. The last eatery on this tour is the Galley. Virgin explicitly did not want a traditional buffet. They wanted all the food to be freshly cooked to order while minimizing waste. But a buffet is a staple of every cruise ship and is very popular with cruisers. So the Galley is really a hybrid. It has the layout, seating, and the vibe of a cruise buffet, but the food is served to you by the crew instead of you scooping it onto a plate yourself. Like most buffets, there are various different stations serving different dishes. At the starboard side entrance, there is some grab-and-go food. Usually on offer are salads, sandwiches, wraps, nuts, and a dessert or two. Bento Baby serves fresh sushi in grab-and-go containers. You don't have to take them away, you just eat them there if you want. At the quote-unquote front of the Galley, Diner and Dash serves a rotating mix of different cuisines every day. They also have an all-day breakfast menu. Diner and Dash is usually the only 24/7 hot food outlet on the ship. Burger Bar serves burgers, and fries, and they have a vegan Impossible Burger too. Well Bread has various breads, flatbreads, croissants, dinner rolls, etc. The sweet side has desserts and fruits. Obviously, this is my favorite station. To the left of Diner and Dash and down the side of the ship, first there's the Sip and Bubs cart with champagne and popsicles. Let's Taco About It has, yes, you guessed it, tacos. Noodle Around has noodles, including ramen, which I love. Hot Off the Press has toast, hot sandwiches, and paninis. On the other side of the ship, the port side, we have the Deli Mix Salad Bar for fresh, customized salads. And also Grounds Club 2, the little sibling to the main Grounds Club Cafe on Deck 7. Let's talk more about beverages at the Galley, because this is where you'll find most of the free beverages that's included with your fare. There's a cold section for water, ice, soda, and non-pressed juices. Soda comes out of these fancy touchscreen machines. The hot section has hot water, tea, and drip coffee, including decaf. There's also a water bottle refill station at the entrance right beside the grab-and-go food. Up onto Deck 16, and this next place is somewhere I'll probably never be again. Rich's Rooftop is the VIP sundeck and lounge, only for the guests staying in suites or what Virgin calls Rockstar Quarters. Near the front of Deck 16 is Sun Club Cafe, and this is the only place on board to get poke bowls and bows. This is at one end of Sun Club, which is the upper deck above the pool, with more loungers and these weird red benches. And just above the hot tubs is the Sun Club Bar. Moving further back, on the starboard side are the Cabanas, which are private cabanas that you can book. On the port side, you'll first find training camp, where they run group fitness sessions, and it's also a sports court. This is also where the Athletic Club starts, so you see various types of fitness equipment, like this boxing ring, and these things that I'm not completely sure what they are. At the very back of Deck 16, we have the Athletic Club Bar, and it's a great space to hang out and grab a drink even when you're not into sports. The special thing here is called The Net, which is a suspended catamaran net. I have a fear of heights, so I didn't try this out, and it was scary enough for me to just film it. Finally, we move to Deck 17, our final deck on the tour. So all around the edge of Deck 17, we've got the Runway, which is a jogging track. And at the back of Deck 17, we have what's called the Perch, technically an outdoor yoga studio. On most of the Atlantis or gay charters, they turn this space during the day to be a clothing optional sunbathing area, and at night, this usually turns into the dick deck. Alright YouTube, that is a full tour of the Virgin ships. If you have any more questions about any of the amenities on any of the Virgin ships, just comment down below, and in a future video, maybe I'll answer your questions. But until next time, bye y'all! Hey YouTube, thank you so much for watching this video. Now, if you're curious about maybe going on your first Atlantis cruise, I'm not only a YouTuber, I'm also a registered travel advisor with Atlantis. So if you want insider knowledge and expert guidance, especially for first-time Atlantis cruisers, go with JustJoeyTravels. You can find me at JustJoeyTravels.com, or you can DM my @JustJoeyTravels Instagram account.